Hey, Sam again from Mad Goat Coffee, and I'm going to show you how to brew good coffee just using a standard drip coffee brewer. So it's pretty easy to use. I'm sure many of you have used one before, and you might think, oh, you just pour in water and you pour in your coffee and you push a button. Well, yes, that's true, but there's a couple of tips to really make your coffee taste excellent in your drip coffee brewer. So the first one is really brands. More expensive brands are probably going to taste better. It's not 100% true, but you can find good brands of coffee brewers. You really want to try to find one that can get your water hot enough. A lot of the standard ones, a lot of the standard Mr. Coffee ones, only get the water up to I think about 180 degrees, and you're missing out on some flavor if it's not getting up to about 200 or 205 degrees. But you use what you have, and it's okay. The other thing I want to mention is that the cups of coffee on coffee brewers is extremely confusing. So I'm sure many of you have brewed 4 cups or 6 cups or 8 cups, and if you didn't already know this, the dirty little secret is they're not real cups. Those are not 8-ounce cups. They usually are between 4, 5, maybe 6 ounces. I think usually around 4 to 5 ounces. So that's why if you brew 4 cups, you might only get 2 actual cups of coffee out of it. But they're not consistent either. So that's the tricky part, is you need to find what works for you in your coffee brewer, which might take a little bit of trial and error. On our brewer here, we found that for every cup that we fill up with water, again, cup, we found that about 11 grams of coffee gives the flavor that we're looking for, which is why having a scale is great, and that's why I recommended having a scale in the prior video. So on our old coffee brewer, it was about 9 grams per cup. So that coffee brewer used a different measure for its cups of water, and it was a little bit smaller. This one's a little bit larger. So when we're brewing coffee, we weigh our coffee out, and I just did that already in the prior video. So I have it all ground. I ground it right beforehand. Again, weighing and grinding is ideal for freshness and consistency. I have some old coffee grounds, which I'm going to dump out. Ideally, you're not leaving old coffee grounds in there, but hey, we're all human. So I'm going to get all my coffee grounds in here, and I'm going to do 4 cups of coffee, so I have 44 grams of coffee. Rinse out my pot really quick. Don't mind our dirty sink if you can see it. If you can't see it, it's probably better. And then I'm going to pour my water. And again, having good filtered water is ideal. We have a nice RO system at our house, which is great. And I'm just going to pour it up to the floor. So there are people who will actually weigh their water, and that way they can ensure they're getting like a 16-to-1 or a 15-to-1 ratio of coffee to water. So if they were doing like 40 grams of coffee, they might weigh out their water to be 40 times 15, which I think is 6,000 or 600. But really, you don't have to do that. You can just fill up to the line. Again, you need to do a little bit of trial and error to find out what works well for you and your coffee brewer. And once you've done that trial and error, and once you have a good ratio that works well, then that's great. Then you can brew consistent coffee from your house. But the important thing is kind of finding that ratio that works well for you. And so yeah, I have it all ready to go. I've rinsed out my coffee pot. I have my fresh coffee in there. I have my water filled up. Now I'm just going to push the button, and in just a few minutes I'll have excellent coffee. Thanks everyone.